It all started with a whisper of trouble, and since that moment, the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, an 84-year-old mother and grandmother, has captivated the nation. The night of January 31st, 2026, appeared to unfold as any typical evening in her Tucson home. Her family left her house around 9:45 p.m., and she walked back into her house using a walker, the garage door closing behind her. But by the morning of February 1st, something was terribly wrong. Nancy was missing. Her pacemaker's app lost connection between 1:45 a.m. and 2:30 a.m., a narrow window that would become the focal point of the investigation. No one knew where she had gone, or worse, if she was even still alive. Her family was left in agony, trying to piece together the few clues left behind, each passing hour increasing the risk of her health declining without the medication she so desperately needed. The panic sets in. Families desperate search. By noon on Sunday, February 1st, when Nancy failed to show up for church, her family became frantic. A relative entered her home, only to find it eerily empty. No signs of her departure, no trace of where she had gone. But what they did find sent shockwaves through the investigation. A crime scene. There were signs of forced entry, damage to the door frame, and a trail of blood leading toward the porch and driveway. Immediately, Sheriff Chris Nanos stated that they believed Nancy had been taken from her home against her will, and homicide detectives were quickly called in. This wasn't just a missing persons case anymore. It was an abduction. The FBI also joined the investigation by Sunday evening, knowing the importance of acting fast with such a high-profile case. Day 2. The search expands. As the search for Nancy intensified on Monday, February 2nd, investigators expanded their efforts. Teams combed through the rugged Catalina foothills where Nancy lived, using helicopters, drones, and K-9 units. Volunteers from the community joined in, while digital evidence was reviewed, including surveillance footage from doorbell cameras and traffic cameras. The area was vast and secluded, making it difficult to track any potential suspects or witnesses. Despite the lack of physical evidence that could directly lead to her, there was no doubt that she hadn't simply wandered off. The absence of her vital medication was the true concern, as doctors warned that she could deteriorate quickly without it. The first ransom note, a chilling twist. On Tuesday, February 3rd, the case took a disturbing turn when multiple media outlets reported receiving ransom messages. These messages, claiming to be from Nancy's abductors, demanded millions of dollars in Bitcoin. The details in these messages, including specific information about Nancy's home and her appearance the night of her disappearance, seemed too precise to be random. The FBI took the ransom notes seriously, and Savannah Guthrie, Nancy's daughter, was shown one of the messages for review. The fact that these communications seemed to fit the modern kidnapper playbook, using untraceable digital currencies like Bitcoin, only made the situation more sinister. Yet, the real question remained. Was Nancy alive? Or were these ransom notes part of a cruel hoax? A heart-wrenching plea, the Guthrie family's appeal. By Wednesday, February 4th, the Guthrie family made a public appeal. Savannah, Annie, and Cameron posted an emotional video on social media, thanking the public for their support and prayers. They spoke directly to whoever had taken Nancy, urging them to provide proof of life and contact the family. The video also included a message to Nancy herself, reassuring her of their love and strength. The response to the video was overwhelming, with millions of people across the country expressing their support. Strangers held vigils, shared prayers, and posted messages of hope. The family's raw vulnerability struck a chord with the public, but despite the outpouring of support, there was still no concrete evidence of Nancy's whereabouts or condition. Day 4. New messages, no answers. As the investigation entered its fourth day, Thursday, February 5th, authorities confirmed that the search for Nancy continued. The investigation now included a more focused timeline, with the last known activity on her pacemaker app between 1:45 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. on February 1st. A fresh batch of forensic evidence was gathered, and more leads were being chased. But despite all the activity, there were still no answers. Another ransom message surfaced on Friday, February 6th, and while it didn't contain new demands, it was taken seriously. Investigators remained cautious, emphasizing the complexity of the case and the difficulty of verifying whether the messages were genuine or part of an elaborate scam. The hope for Nancy's safe return remained, but time was running out. The family's emotional breakdown, a plea for her return. By Saturday, February 7th, the family released another emotional video, this time acknowledging that they had received new communication from Nancy's captors. The message, which seemed to indicate a willingness to negotiate, included a demand for $6 million in Bitcoin. The Guthries pleaded for her safe return, offering whatever they could to have their mother and grandmother back. The video struck a deep chord with the public. It was clear that the family was willing to do anything to bring Nancy home. Law enforcement agencies confirmed they were aware of the communication, but despite the family's plea, no arrests or breakthroughs were announced. This shift in the dynamic of the ransom demand raised questions. What was the motive? Money, revenge, or something else? Day 8. The deadline looms. By Sunday, February 8th, the search for Nancy had entered its 8th day, and with it, the anxiety surrounding the ransom demand. The deadline for the $6 million Bitcoin payment was set for Monday, February 9th at 5 p.m. local time. Investigators remained on high alert, with forensics teams and K-9 units continuing their work at Nancy's home. Yet, with each passing day, the unanswered questions grew. Was Nancy being cared for? Or was she suffering in captivity without her medication? Was she still somewhere nearby, hidden in the vast Catalina foothills? Or had she been moved to a distant location? More importantly, was there any hope left for her survival? A nation holds its breath. The entire country seemed to hold its breath as the deadline approached. The blood drops at Nancy's home, confirmed to be hers, the sudden loss of pacemaker data, and the disturbing ransom demands all pointed to the unimaginable. What had happened to Nancy? What did her captors want? And, most heartbreakingly, could her health hold up long enough for her to be returned alive? As the FBI and Puma County Sheriff's Office worked tirelessly to uncover new leads, there was a growing fear that time might be running out. For the Guthrie family, this was no longer just a missing persons case. It was a race against time to save a loved one. The wait for answers continues. As the hours ticked away, every update, every tip, every new development was scrutinized. The investigation had become a national effort, with everyone waiting for a breakthrough, hoping that Nancy Guthrie, the beloved matriarch of the family, would be brought home safely. But the mystery of the ransom, the strange lack of direct communication with the family, and the overwhelming sense of uncertainty left the country in suspense. Was Nancy still alive? Could the FBI track down her captors before it was too late? The search continued, and the world waited, praying for an answer.